Live from the Toyota Escondido Action Sports Studio, this is the Action Sports Show.
It's time for the Action Sports Show, powered by Toyota Escondido Action Sports, featuring Jim Holfus and Dan McGranahan. And now,
you're on, guys.
We're on, guys. They're on, guys. He's on, guys. Folks, welcome to the Action Sports Show, powered by Toyota Escondido Action Sports. Another nice, cool week here in the Valley of Sun. And, hey, we have another heck of a show lined up for you today. Dan,
what's up, my brother?
How's the weekend, man?
Well, you know, we had a good time. We hung out together a little bit on Sunday, had the families out together.
Should I ask you how the weekend is when I know because I was with you?
It's one of those things like, yeah, I mean, the people, you know, the millions listening around the world don't know. So it's a fair question, I guess. I should just play along instead of being like, why are you asking
Jim,
me
I
that?
haven't
I was
seen
with
you in
man.
weeks. This is what's going on.
No, we were hanging out together at the Oceanside Longboard Surfing Club Guy Takayama Nose Rider Classic in Oceanside.
Yes, we were. You blew me away.
The name, I just think they need to add a couple letters, a couple words to the name.
And it's 36 years and 16 years at the same time. So can't they all just be one? I don't know. So well, we're going to have the president, Corporal Captain, here later on.
That's going to be exciting very much.
Bing Cosby, not Bing Crosby, but Bing Cosby, and he is named after that, and we'll find out more about that later. But, hey, before we get to our guests here, let's talk about a little bit of the world of action sports that we've got lined up. We had a heck of a weekend from our Star Yamaha racing team.
I mean, they own the podium. They own the top of the podium. Cooper Webb is absolutely dominating. He's on fire. He's unstoppable. He is in the zone. He's got that momentum. He's in every one of his competitors' heads. They can't touch him. And he is going out of the atmosphere for his last hurrah here in the 250 class.
You know,
they did announce also, very exciting news, the 450 class going to the Des Nations, and it's got Cooper on it. And so that's really cool, too.
Yes.
So it's Cooper, Martin, and
which Martin?
El Hombre. Don't pin me down on that.
Oh. It's Martin.
It's Martin. It's one
Martin.
of the Martin brothers, the fast one.
Yeah, the faster one.
No, I'm not sure which one, but I know it's one of the Martins, and yeah.
Teammate Aaron Plessinger, our good buddy, second place overall.
Yeah.
Go to the 450s. Once again, Roxon, Muscan, which kind of at the end of Supercross season, Muscan was getting in his rhythm, and he's kind of doing the same thing in outdoor right now and starting to look good. Watch out for him again next year, and that other Tomac guy.
Apparently Roxon's not racing for his team in the Des Nations. Neither is our boy Eli Tomac was supposed to race in the Des Nations and
why is
backed out. I don't know why Eli backed out. I think it's just too much. And Roxon apparently backed out because there wasn't his teammates weren't good enough for them to go over there and compete.
Really? How does that
be on it?
Well, I was going to say, how's that going to be with your teammate in the future? But they won't be his teammates in the future. So.
Well, it wasn't those teammates anyways. It would have been other people from Germany.
Ah, the Germans.
The Germans, yeah. And I think Roxon is basically assimilating into an American. We see him that way.
Hey,
he
bro.
sees himself that way. He's total bra, SoCal guy. He fits the mold.
The great news, Dean Wilson had a great performance this last weekend with a nice 5th place and an 11th. I think he got like 8th or 9th overall.
I think he got 5th overall, and a huge shout-out to him. I don't know how, I know the numbers 11th and 5th maybe don't make sense to equal 5th, but I think that is what he ended up with.
Yeah.
What a performance, man. I'm pumped to see him back and showing that he's the guy because –
love that guy.
We love him. He's family here. And, Dino, we're pulling for you, buddy. We're pulling for you. And get back on the show. Let's talk some haggis.
Yes. Let's all eat some haggis, maybe. Do we try the stomach bag thing?
Don't say stuff
not.
like that, man.
I don't know.
Well,
you're the one who came up with that term.
Haggis. Haggis.
Well, I teased him. I tagged him on that thing. They had a fake thing of Lay's potato chips with haggis-flavored Lay's potato chips.
There's that. They mentioned haggis. First time I ever heard of it was in that movie with Bruce Willis where they go blow up the asteroid and save the world. Famous movie.
Could it have really happened in real life?
What, that happened?
It's only
The stuff in the movie?
It absolutely could have happened. It's probably happened a few times. If you watch Transformers, I feel like Transformers is based off a true story.
If it's not somewhat believable, like, Rambo after the first one, it gets all like, oh, that's not really going to happen. The first one, totally could have happened.
Absolutely. Predator, for sure, was real too.
Maybe. Hey, the USA BMX team, I believe tomorrow morning is going to be finding out what their seating's going to be. The men and women going to be going out there. I couldn't find anywhere what time it was going to be on TV because I've been usually catching most of the recaps and stuff at night.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just flipping on that NBC app and seeing what they happen to show me. So hopefully they'll show it.
Yeah.
Or else we'll be seeing it online through some of our friends.
Is it live streaming for a lot of their programming on the NBC app?
They do, but you're talking about Brazil, and so the time difference, and it's not.
Oh, you're watching NBC Brazil? Well,
no, but if it's live streaming, it's from Brazil. And so I'm just excited for our girl Caroline too.
Yes.
She's awesome, great fan.
I'm really hoping it's like they laid it down. The three that are expected are the two USA and Caroline. Yeah. All three of them on the podium. Jim's a happy guy.
Yeah. Make it happen, Caroline.
Let's do it. BMX Bandit.
And then bring that gold to the show because I want to play with that thing.
Yes.
I like gold. I like playing with gold.
Duh.
What's wrong?
It's a new medallion for my chain, man.
Yeah.
A chain. It's my grandmama's chain. What?
Coming up is the biggest week of my life.
Yes.
And so I'm super excited.
UFC 202. I knew this was coming.
Oh. More of this UFC nonsense. No, I'm just kidding. The biggest week of my life for sure is the Chopu WSL contest.
The LeBlanc Pro?
I will be glued to my WSL app for several days. I hope the waves are just thunder thumping. That's a term. If you haven't heard
is that what creates everyone to froth?
It's a term. It can only happen at Chopu when something thunder thumps.
Yeah.
It only happens at Chopu.
Well, dude, you got me all over it, and I was there hoping it was started today, though, but I think it's still a day or two out.
I think we got a little bit of time, and I haven't actually looked at the swell window to see what the predictions are or anything like that. But like I said, I'm really hoping for a thunder thump.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. Thunder thumper.
Tell me about 202. So we're finally going to see McGregor back in the octagon.
Yes, Conor McGregor and
where's
Nate
the hype, man? Shouldn't that
Diaz.
be so much
more hyped up? Well, you know what? I think after a guy beats you, you don't want to talk quite as much smack on the guy on the chance that he beats you again. And Dana White was on another radio show this morning, not near as big as ours, but he was saying that they weren't really stoked on Conor wanting to do 175 pounds again. I mean, the guy's the double champ down here and wants to just add 40 pounds on to his normal body weight and fight at a place that he's already lost. So it's like,
yeah, but if you're Conor, if you have any self-respect, you are not going to sit there and not go fight.
But he's like,
him
that's
again.
what I like about Conor. He has the I don't care, and that's who he's going back after to avenge his loss.
Exactly, but I feel bad for the people in his division that would love to have a strike at the title, but the title's busy in another division.
Now, Conor McGregor, ladies and gentlemen. Just kidding, folks. Sorry. I'm sorry. My bad.
I was going to give my best, Conor, and try to roll with it.
All
right. Hey, Jim.
Really?
I don't know. It's Canadian more than Irish.
Oh, boy. Yeah, that. Hey, want to let everyone know, too, about our Blue Moon Baja adventure. That was just for you for the whole Elvis thing today.
Thank you.
39th anniversary of the King's death today, August 16th, 1977. So, in respect of that, we've named our trip, I've nicknamed it, but it's the Full Moon Baja Adventure. It's going to be led by Baja legend, racer, TV commentator Cameron Steele. It's going to be for 5 days, 4 nights down in Baja. If you've never experienced the beauty of the trails of Baja and all the different landscapes and stuff like that, or you have and you just want to go again, This is a trip that's going to be led by the best of the best at the full support. They've got everything there on hand you could ever possibly need, all the logistics and food and all that stuff planned out. There's going to be surfing days down there. It's going to be an amazing trip. So it is starting to book up, but we have a few spots left. So if you do, email guru@toyotaescondido.com with any questions, and we'll get back to you shortly thereafter. And we've also got coming up here in the next couple months a chance to test drive for a chance to win the VIP experience with Doug Fortin or Supercross, 7-time Supercross champ Jeremy McGrath at the Lucas Oil Off-Road Races in Lake Elsinore. It's going to be a night race. First time this year, you're going to be able to see a bunch of stuff that you don't get to see during the daytime, all the flames and sparks and everything shooting out. So, but if you come in and test drive a car, we've also got kids tickets for free, and you have the chance to win this experience of a lifetime. Go hang with the legend. So it's going to be really cool. Come check it out.
You're VIPing people.
You're what?
You're VIPing people.
Vippin'?
VIPing.
Oh, Vippin'.
Yeah.
Yeah. We be Vippin'.
We be VIPing.
We be Vippin'. So, hey, well, with that said, if you're good covering this weekend's topics, let's go ahead and get to break so we can get to our first guest.
To the break we go.
To the break we go, folks. The Action Sports Show powered by Toyota Escondido. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
It'll rot your brain, ruin your good name, take money for your shame, and we're all entertained. What can you do? One name you should know, the best place you can go, Toyota of Escondido.
You already know that Toyota of Escondido has a huge selection of new and used Toyotas, right? But I bet they have a few more things you didn't even know, like a certified collision center. If you're ever in an accident, get your Toyota fixed with the proper parts it was meant to have at Escondido's only Toyota certified collision center.
Toyota of Escondido. Toyota of Escondido.
Looking to save money? Toyota of Escondido has a full refinance department. Keep your current car no matter the make or model and let Toyota of Escondido's refinance team help lower your monthly payment or current interest rate. Visit ToyotaEscondido.com and click the refinance tab. ToyotaEscondido.com. Shop for your new Toyota and much, much more.
This is Josh Slay. You're listening to the Action Sports Show powered by Toyota of Escondido.
You're on, guys.
Folks, welcome back to the Action Sports Show powered by Toyota Escondido Action Sports. If you're just joining us, this is your one-stop shop each and every week for the world of action sports, surf, skate, snow, UFC, motocross, you name it. We're going to talk about it here. And, hey, if you're on the website now, why don't you follow the social media at TE Action Sports. That's at TE Action Sports, and subscribe to the podcast where you'll be alerted each and every week when we have a new episode up there, and you'll automatically be able to download it into your central nervous system. So with that said, Dan, talk about our guests. Let's meet our great guests that are here tonight in the house. We're stoked.
We are absolutely amped, and what an amazing couple. When Jim, when you first showed me pictures and called me and told me about this, I was like, wow, that's cool, okay. And then when I saw the pictures, I was like, whoa, that is so radical. And so I want you guys out there in radio world, Facebook world, and everywhere else that you're listening to us to give a big radio round of applause to Alia Hoffman and Travis Long, my man.
All right.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dan, Jim. Thanks for having us.
They are one of the top tandem surfing couples in the world, and they get it done. These guys basically stand on each other's heads and surf down the waves, get tube, do all that stuff. So
just to let you know, not a couple, just a team.
Oh, okay. Well, I would have probably asked that somewhere along the way. You know, because you do. You like see the dancers, like you watch the dance show, and it's like, wow, you guys are like, you have all this energy, all this. Are you guys a couple? Nope. Okay.
No, we don't even talk to each other out of the water.
Not really, unless I'm yelling at him.
I'm kidding.
But you've been a team for, what, 3 or 4 years now?
Yeah, it's going about 3.5 years.
Yeah,
Three
okay.
years, yep.
So I guess let's start with how did you two connect? Did you both already do this sport? Tell us where it all started.
Well, we met actually as competitors. She had another partner briefly before we met, and I was with another partner, and she had lost her partner, and my partner at the time said, well, she's lost her partner, we should surf together, at least keep her in the sport, because we're just trying to keep people in the sport, which is great.
Yeah.
And that's how we started surfing together.
Yeah. And his roommate is a student of mine for yoga. She did my yoga teacher training. She said, Alia, my roommate, he does tandem surfing. You guys should meet. And so it all worked out.
And you had already done it at that time?
I had tandem surfed
So
for
you
a
just
short
happened to
time.
be looking for another tandem surfing partner.
Exactly.
Wow.
Okay, but let's back it up. Get me into how did you get into tandem surfing, Alia?
It's a little bit of a long story. No, I was traveling in Bali. I was in Indonesia.
All the best stories start like this.
Yep. And rented a board. It's $5 a day, and the board was just too long for me. And the fellow that I was traveling with at that time said, "Oh, let me help you. We can tandem, and I'll help paddle and get you into a wave." And we dropped in on a wave bigger than I'd ever dropped in on solo, and didn't get up past my knees, but had this incredible rush of feeling just butterflies, couldn't stop giggling and laughing. The whole thing was exhilarating. Never thought I'd do it again. Long story short, this guy met another lady and left me in Bali to go be with this girl. So I came home by myself.
Left you in
I know,
Bali?
yep, left me in Bali for this other girl.
That wasn't me.
Long story. We don't have to get into the personal side of it, but I never.
Or we could. I'm just kidding. Go on. Go on.
I came home never thinking I would tandem surf again. Never thought it'd be something that I was even good at. And I met my first teammate, and it was basically through chance I got an email from another student of mine saying, I know someone who needs a tandem surfing partner, and you're the perfect size, and you're the perfect weight. Would you ever try this?
Down the line a little bit. And sometimes you're hanging upside down and backwards and doing those things, which also
with
adds
my head
to
in a barrel.
Yeah, which adds to some of those things. So I try to describe for me what it's like when you're being held up, you're over someone's head, you're backwards, you're in like a crazy pikey toe pointy position. How did I do with my vernacular?
That's a maneuver actually.
Pikey toe pointing.
Yeah.
Pikey toe pointing.
It's worth like 10 points.
I should definitely come up with names for all these different deals. Anyways,
so to
what's
answer
that
your
feel
question, yeah, there's two elements to it for me. There's the actual surfing, where Travis does these amazing surfing maneuvers while holding me, for example, in this lift called Fish, where I'm really close to his body, and he will pump down the line. And he's done floaters, he cuts back, he's done all kinds of different maneuvers. And for me, being a decent solo surfer but still a beginner, I can't do that by myself. So that feeling of surfing and carving through the waves, especially big waves, second to none. I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that myself. But going up in the air and flying upside down or backwards down a wave and seeing the wave behind me or seeing the shore ahead, the sound, the sensation, the wind. There are really no words. It's the most adrenaline rushing, exhilarating feeling of my life. And I live for it. No joke. Anytime we get out in the water, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
And that's a sensation that he may never feel.
That's true. I've tried to lift him up over my head.
You did.
I'm lifting weights and trying to, gain weight, muscle, so that one day I can show Travis exactly what it feels like. Get him up over my head.
Yeah, boy, she doesn't know if we're doing a floater or an off the top. She just likes to go pow.
And what do I do? I get the
it?
speed tickles.
She gets the speed tickles. When we're pumping it really fast down the line, she starts giggling.
You can hear it in our GoPro video.
Really?
Yeah. I just can't help it. I'm laughing
Or we'll do
so
a
hard.
floater and she'll go, woo.
That's cool, though, man.
He's
Enjoy
like-
the
I'm
ride,
having
right?
so much fun.
Easy
Surfing
with
with
the
sound
peanut
effects.
gallery.
Yeah. And paddling is the hardest part for me. The lifts, that's second nature. Being a yoga teacher, being an athlete, the lifts are easier. The paddling is what's challenging.
Well, let's talk about the surf side of the whole thing. So dropping in, what maneuvers are really realistic to do in context like that? Have you ever actually pulled into a barrel? How big a surf? What's a perfect way for this, for you guys to do your thing?
Well,
break it down.
all right. Well, I feel that to really tandem surf, the wave height has to be at least as long as the board. You know, you got a 12-foot board. You know, it's nice to have a wave that's about 2 times overhead, so you've got enough.
So you're talking
to
double
maneuver.
overhead waves.
Double overhead wave, about a 6-foot wave. Double
Okay.
overhead, 6 foot back, it's about a 12-foot face.
Don't get Hawaiian with me with this.
He can't help
We
it.
asked 10
guys.
different surfers, and
It's
we
3
10
foot
different
out,
wave
bro.
size.
It's breaking second reef at Pipeline. It's 3 foot. Whatever. Go on. Talk to me about the face. That's
okay.
what we surf.
Well, we've got a routine, and in competition, we've got we know exactly what maneuvers we're going to be doing for the first wave, second wave, third wave.
And you have to present to them the maneuvers ahead of time?
We do
Yeah,
just
we
as
do.
a guideline, so they
So
kind
if
of
you
know what to be
change-
looking for. You can change it up, but it's best
Okay.
for the judges to know basically what you're going to be doing during the wave.
Okay.
So know accordingly how to score those lifts. So that being said, you know, waves aren't always the same, and you've got changing conditions, and so sometimes you have to ad-lib just a little bit, and we'll change the lift. However, my job once we get into the wave is to get her up to her feet as soon as possible.
Okay.
We've already got a lift. It's nice.
So
to
how
get
does
her-
that work? Are you guys, you're on a 12-foot board. She's in front of you.
She's
We
in front of
both
me.
paddle.
You're both
Both paddle.
paddling.
My chest
He
is on her
says
buttocks.
Okay,
And
so
I
you're
said-
pretty much like close, really
Yeah,
close.
we're really close.
Touching.
I'm right over
Yeah.
top of her butt, and
Yeah.
we're paddling into the wave. And once I feel that wave catches, I stand up and I call her up. And as soon as I call her up, I'm scooping underneath her stomach.
So she stays put till you call her.
Correct.
So once you've stabilized or you know you're
We're
up,
in the wave.
then,
Yeah,
then you bring her because you can handle the leverage being thrown around at that point.
that's right. And it's important to get her up before you get to the bottom of the wave.
Sure. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And then these boards
Because
are
at the bottom,
big.
when all the G goes down, it's harder to get her up.
That, and you don't want four points of pressure on the surfboard.
Sure.
Once I
And
lift
he
her up
sets his
off of the
line
surfboard, yeah. Once I lift her up, now I weigh about 300 pounds, and I can make that big board work. You know, they're 12-foot boards, 28 wide, 5 inches thick, epoxy, and so it's really hard
5-inch
to sink a
thick
rail.
epoxy.
Yeah,
19
it's,
pounds.
Yeah, it's really lightweight.
It's really light.
Yeah.
King's Paddle Sports sets us up with
Wow.
Thanks, guys.
Kevlar boards.
Really nice.
Really nice equipment. Yeah.
Man, what kind of fin setup? Just a single
I do
fin?
a tri-fin with
You
a
do?
big leading fin because I like
Big
to put it
leading
on edge.
fin.
Excuse me, with a big trailing fin.
Okay. Okay.
Custom rail.
Yeah, we do.
He's designed it.
We do.
What do you do
a
with your
down
rails?
Rail. Well, what we do, it's a chined rail so that it's skinnier at the rail than it is, much skinnier at the rail than it is at the center of the board. So we got the
convex.
flotation in the middle, and then we've got a rail that we can actually do a bottom turn and sink the rail really hard without it corking out and coming out.
Right.
Because then you can't hold an edge and you really can't turn that hard.
Right.
I like to surf it.
I like that.
And
I
she
like
likes to
that.
go pow.
I love to go pow. It's so much fun. I can't help
guys are too
it. I
much.
just
These guys
can't
are
help
too much.
it.
Okay, so here we go. You got her up.
So I got her up.
Now you're looking down the line. Are you assessing the wave for anything in particular?
Yeah, well, normally by that time I've already decided, and we've
Okay.
already committed. And I try to get speed out of the bottom turn, keeping her really close to me, hopefully having her in a lift already. And then I'll set my line. And once I set my line, we go into our routine, one of our lifts. And each lift you have to hold for 3 seconds to be scored on it, and you have to get the girl safely back down to the board.
Okay.
And normally we've got a sequence.
Has that
of
ever
about-
not happened?
Oh, yes.
He,
We've,
you
got
know,
some-
Wave just to keep her safe?
I've
yeah,
also taken him over my head and wiped out that way. We
Yeah,
wipe
we've-
out. As long as I hit the water and not the board, we're okay.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah, if you'll see our social media, we've got some GoPro videos of some pretty good wipeouts.
All right. All right.
Amusing in slow motion too. They're so much funnier.
Indeed.
You know what? Over tea kettle.
And also embarrassing, but it happens.
Now,
to
are
the
you
best of us.
graded on the dismount as well?
Landing
Yes.
back on the board?
Yep.
Yeah,
you
that's
need to get her
important.
safely down to the board and do a nice finish.
Sit
after
But
the
then
wave.
finish.
now, when she's back down to the board and you're at the end of the wave, do you have to like gracefully both fall to the water, or how do you?
No, I
end
like
it?
to set her down on the board and keep the board upright. And then normally I'll just sit down on the board as well, and then we'll turn it around.
So
and
that's
paddle back
the
out.
best way. Like nobody goes into the drink.
Nobody goes into the drink. Now, in the old days, that was a little bit different. You know, a lot of the tandem surfing pairs were couples, and the guys back then used to think it was safer just to toss the girl away from the board because you don't want her to hit the board, you don't want her to get tangled in the leash.
The wife
so they would
toss.
just toss her over the back of the wave, and that's why they Used to call it the wife tossing contest.
When in doubt, toss her out.
And this was we were talking before, and you were telling me a little bit of the history. Like when surfing started, they were on these giant, big floater boards anyway.
Yep.
So they were almost kind of designed that two people could just go on them. But you want to give them away from this big wood board, especially. I don't know what they would have weighed back then.
Well, back then, as we were talking, the sport of tandem surfing started in the Sandwich Islands, Hawaii, back in the early 1900s when Americans and other Europeans were going there via cruise ship, since there was no commercial airlines at the time. And they were discovering surfing. And back then, the beach boys of Waikiki, they had boards made out of koa wood, koa trees, and they were 15, 18 feet long. And they would take the girls out, and the girls would normally sit on their knees and help paddle also. But then, Hawaiians are very competitive in their surfing, and male posturing being what it is, one guy goes, well, look, I can do this. Another guy says, well, I can do this. And that's how tandem surfing started. And big wave riders from California, like Pete Peterson, when they came over in the 20s and 30s and saw this happening, they brought it back to California. And by the 40s and 50s and 50s and 60s, to be an all-around surfer, tandem surfing was kind of part of your repertoire.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it went into a little bit of a decline there in the early 70s when surfboard design went to what was called the shortboard revolution. And but then it came right back in the 80s with the longboards coming back, and now we've got a pro world tour.
And I used to see videos as a kid, like back in the 60s and stuff like that, of like performing, and I've lost my train of thought. There's another sport, too, where they used to do, not jet skiing, when you're towed behind the boat.
Water skiing.
Water skiing.
Oh, yeah, and they would kind of
do the big tandem shows, that and
random
surfing.
stuff,
I remember seeing very elegant videos of both of those sports, and that's what leads out in my mind. And it was really cool to see you guys the other day. It was the first time I've seen it in real life, and just like amazing. That's what
Thank you.
we have
Thanks
to talk to them and find out about this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we're really excited because also legendary surfer Duke Kahanamoku, he was really influential in starting tandem surfing. And next week we go to the Duke Ocean Fest in Waikiki. We'll surf in front of the Duke statue. And for me, it's a really great opportunity to experience fully the history, the legend of the sport, and be a part of that, where it was started, really.
Yeah, wow, that is awesome. And this is part of the tour.
I do have
It's
to
part
say,
of the tour pro contest.
I have tandem surfed with the Duke statue.
At Queens in Waikiki?
Yeah, I climbed up on it,
Oh, very nice.
swung from the hands.
To take a picture, or were you
Yeah,
stealing lays
exactly.
off
No,
of it?
I was just taking pictures. But
Wow. I don't know what to say about that.
me and the Duke, we've done some tandem stuff.
You're like this.
We're pretty close. I've
That's
got the
good.
Polaroid to prove it.
All right.
I think
Polaroid.
I think I was 15.
The one
for you.
step.
Parked the rental, mopeds on the side there and climbed all over the Duke.
We love it. It's our favorite. It's my favorite contest of the year. It's so much fun. The tandem family. It's like a ohana, and we
it's a
just
big
love the
event.
stoke. Yeah, it's great vibes
Plus
out there.
Waikiki, amazing place.
Yeah, who could complain?
Oh man,
We're trying to better a third place finish. We made the finals last year. Did really well. Caught some good waves. Had one of our leashes break right in the finals. Had to swim about 450 yards.
That was
Get the
tough.
board, paddle back out.
But we were the
she handled
only.
it.
It was tough, but we were the only team from the mainland U.S. to be on the podium. We got third last year, so hopefully we do even better this
very
year.
nice.
So any of the people that we saw this last weekend, ones that you'll be up against, or
Brian
and Isla will be
they'll be
there. I know Mark and Debbie will be there. I'm not sure if they're surfing in it.
There's a lot of Hawaiian teams that are really good. There's some teams
Amazing.
coming from France that are quite good. And then there's a couple Australian teams coming, actually.
And 2015, the World Championships, Kalani and Crystal, they, what we can do, they take it to the next level. I mean, their sportsmanship, their camaraderie, and their ability in the ocean. I mean, if I could be them one day, they're amazing.
You will, sweetheart.
you will, you will. Now, are you and the other teams close, or is it kind of like?
We're so
How you doing?
close. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, like it's for fun. These are family. Yeah, we want to win. We want to win. We're competitive people, but
Sure.
at the end of the day, we support all the other teams. We celebrate their victories. They're amazing people. It's an honor to be a part of that community, and yeah, we're really close.
It's one of those environments I got to believe that where you guys really do cheer each other on.
Definitely.
You know, you're not out there. You guys are paying to be there. It's not that cut. One thing when a bunch of longboards pull out, and we'll talk to the boys next about that. But it's probably a whole nother thing when a bunch of tandem boards pull out there. You guys, do they do tandem paddleboarding?
You know what they do? There's tandem paddleboard races as well.
Interesting.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yep. I've seen four people on a stand-up paddleboard. But the paddleboard was made for 4 people.
Sure. So you're going to Waikiki. I love Waikiki. Alamoana Bowl's probably
great wave.
One of the funnest waves. Do you ever go over and surf Alamoana side or up by the harbor at all, or you just?
I've surfed Alamoana quite a bit,
but not tandem.
But yeah, longboard, shortboard, not tandem.
So the waves you're looking for are more point break, long ride.
It's nice to have a good point break, a reef break. I prefer reef breaks, a little
You
easier
do.
to paddle out. Usually it's a more, the waves breaking at the
Consistent,
same
yeah.
place every time, and so you can get a feel for the lineup.
Yeah.
Because really, a big part of my job as a tandem surfer is keeping her safe. And,
Right.
I'm not going to take her out in ridiculous conditions because I've got more respect for women and more respect for the ocean.
Yeah.
And
Have you guys ever looked at a situation and been like, it's a little heavy, are you sure you want to go? And then her been like,
Yep.
yeah, I'll go. And then you'd
But
be
we
like,
went
you know what, we
anyways.
shouldn't
Yeah,
go.
I
No,
wound
you
up
did
with a
go.
concussion.
yeah, we went anyways. It was a world championship, and it was Makaha, and it was 20 foot.
Oh my
And,
gosh, it was.
So we went out and warmed up, and we caught a couple of really good solid waves, and the backwash at Makaha is rather tough, but
It's a
we were able to
technical
handle it.
wave, and you need to have local knowledge and experience with it. And we did great. We made it. We were in the semifinals.
Well, at least it's a huge channel. I mean,
at least it's a huge
It's
channel.
a
Plus,
huge
they've got the
channel.
best watermen in the world. doing
Yeah,
their water
thank
patrol.
goodness for the watermen. They kept us safe. They're on the lookout. And if a girl's wiped out and far away from the board, the waterman would come and pick up
With
the
jet
girl and
skis,
take her
yeah.
to the channel. And
Oh,
then
cool.
Travis would have to paddle
But we
to
had
the
to
channel.
paddle out ourselves.
Yeah.
okay.
So it was intense. I mean, we made it to the semifinals. The finals were the next day. The waves were even bigger. When I saw it, was like, thank you that we didn't make it because it was terrifying.
But you know what? I was satisfied because we caught the greatest wave in the semifinals.
Oh my gosh, that wave. I'll never forget
Oh,
that
I
wave.
love stories like this. Tell me
Did you
about
see
this
that?
wave.
She just
Describe this.
just took her
Close
right
your
there.
eyes. She was
I
right
couldn't
there.
believe that wave.
All right. Let's see. It was Makaha, and we were taking off at the bowl, but we were taking off behind the bowl, so there's a big section in front of us. And I put her up into a fish, which is a maneuver that she's really close to me, and I could surf really well and
Yeah.
make the sections. So we make it around the section, and then we make it over the bump from the backwash.
Uh-huh.
And then I threw her into like 3 different lifts. And this is a reprecharge heat where there's 4 teams, but only the top first place advances to the next
Okay.
round.
And we killed it.
And Brian Kailana and Kathy Tarada, who are locals there and great
Amazing
watermen
surfers,
and
yeah.
women, they were leading it the whole time, and we got that last wave, and then we rode it. The horn blew during our last wave, and
And
then
we
we rode it
jumped
up
up.
off to the sand.
No way.
Jumped off and ran up on the sand, and then laid claim.
No way.
And I
What
didn't
a
care if we
moment.
advanced or not because that was the greatest. one.
We
It was so
went
good.
to we were invited to a party for GoPro on the North Shore that evening.
Yeah.
And I had my footage. It was still on the little GoPro camera. And I was just rewinding and replaying the whole darn night because I couldn't believe how awesome that wave
was a good wave.
Yeah, I'll never forget.
It's really flattering to go to Hawaii and actually be recognized against some of the greatest surfers in the world.
That's got to be cool.
Makaha is just an amazing place. I actually was telling you a little bit. I had the chance to live there for about a year.
Then you know how dangerous it is.
I know. I've seen it huge. I've seen actually guys closing out that huge bay,
Yeah.
and guys actually going left there, which is
Yeah.
unbelievable. From the other side, not
Right.
from the point side. Although there is a break on the other side of the point, also called third dip, which is really a heavy wave. But the bro bras that run Makaha, and these guys run it. And I think they surf boards about as thick as yours.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
these are big boys. These are
These are big dudes.
350 pounders.
350
With
down
incredible
pound
athletes.
mokes. Yeah,
Incredible athletes.
totally amazing athletes. And I would go out there and I was trying to get waves, and they just weren't like. I guess they weren't feeling this pale white dude. I guess the pale Howley trying to jump into their lineup, and so I paddled out on this set. Never forget this. I flipped my board upside down. It had this wax all over the bottom. It was just a junker board anyways. It was a longboard. Flipped it upside down and surfed it backwards, fin first, and just got this amazing wave. And after that, all the boys loved me, and I had the greatest time. I was there for another 6 months or something like that. So they treated me so good. I got to know them.
I love
and
Makaha.
Once they saw that you were just stoked on surfing, that environment there in Makaha is so raw and real and amazing. And I'll never forget Makaha. So just like you guys, it's a special place. There's so many special places in Hawaii.
Definitely. We found a special place, Pokai Bay.
Shh, don't tell anybody about our surf spots.
I'm sorry.
Don't give away our good surf spots.
I ruined
on
it.
the air. It's okay. Pokai Bay.
It's so
Everybody
beautiful,
strike
so
that
much
from
fun.
the record.
I like to
strike.
share the love, but be respectful. That's the thing. Show respect. Thank the locals for sharing the waves, and spread aloha. Just be stoked about it.
Yeah, for sure.
With that said, let's go ahead and go to a break because I want to hear some more great stories. And I know there's a cowboy in here somewhere that had some sort of rap or something going on. You know anything about this?
I think I could find him. He
think
might
you
be out
found
there.
him. Folks, the Action Sports Show. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
It'll rot your brain, ruin your good name, take money for your shame, and we're all entertained. What can you do? One name you should know, the best place you can go, Toyota of Escondido.
It's official. Once again, the truck pros at Toyota of Escondido sold more new Toyota trucks than any other Toyota dealer. That means more smart buyers like you trusted Toyota of Escondido's Truck Center to find them the right truck for work or play.
Toyota of Escondido. Toyota of Escondido.
It makes sense to buy from the truck sales leader. Let Toyota of Escondido customize your new truck to fit your active lifestyle. Choose from lift kits, custom tires and wheels, and much more. Come experience a whole new way to buy your next truck. Toyota truck sales leader for San Diego County for 2014.
You're listening to Guy Talk, broadcasting live from the Sport Clips Haircuts locker room. Caller, you're on the air.
Hey, boxers or briefs?
Speaking briefly, boxers. Unless you're a boxer, then I'd go briefs. Next caller.
I want to find my nearest Sport Clips, but I don't want to ask for directions.
It's not technically asking for directions if you use sportclips.com to find your nearest Sport Clips location, and no one will ever know. Let's take a break for a word from our sponsor, Sport Clips, where guys go to get an awesome haircut while watching sports on TV. Throw in our relaxing massaging shampoo and our legendary hot steam towel, and you've got our MVP haircut experience. Your head will be as majestic as a freshly mowed Major League outfield. Try it today. Last caller, you're on the air with Guy Talk.
So, how cool is getting a haircut at Sport Clips?
Oh, it's like stepping up to the plate and slam dunking a touchdown. That's all the time we have today. This has been Guy Talk, brought to you by Sport Clips, where it's good to be a guy.
What's up, guys? This is Austin Keene, and you're listening to the Action Sports Show, powered by Toyota Escondido.
You're on, guys.
Snapchat.
I was trying to get in on the selfie
Do you
here,
wanna
the
try it?
Snapchat. We'll
Should we do it again?
Folks, welcome back to the Action Sports Show, and absolutely we should.
Snapchat.
Let's snap right on the air. You ready?
Ready?
All right. Snapping.
We snapped it.
Hey, welcome back.
Nothing
Jim
makes better
Holtis,
radio
Dan
than
McGranahan here, and if you're just joining us, this is the Action Sports Show, and man, we're sitting here talking to some of the best tandem surfers in the world here. Alia Hoffman, Travis Long, and at some point we'd like to get a demo from you. I don't know if it's too early in the game.
Here's the thing.
What is the thing?
They do all these crazy lifts while going down waves, and when we
Water.
met with them, when we met with them, we were like, hey, can you do that stuff on land ever? Thinking, no, they probably don't do it on land. But they totally can. So we get a demonstration right here on the set.
That's right.
Right now.
That's how we practice.
Can we
If
do it?
want.
We can do it right now.
Well, before we, because we're going to cut you off the mic a little bit.
Because it's our show and we do what we want.
We do what we want.
I like that.
He wrote that. I pirated it.
What are these lifts that you guys should do called? Give me the lowdown real quick before we send you out there.
What are we doing?
The first lift we're going to do.
What are we doing?
We're going to do a flat.
Oh.
Straight from the board.
Okay.
Are you flexible? Are you
I'll
stretched
do
out?
it. We'll do it.
Okay. And
You're talking to her.
It's worth a lot of points because it's normally
I was ready.
It's a hard
Are you ready?
maneuver because the man's holding all of the weight, and the girl has to be very flexible.
Okay.
Now,
okay.
something
Let's
you
do
should
it
know.
sideways since I'm in shorts.
Okay.
Okay.
Something you should know about tandem surfing is, all of the guys at the pro level have surfed for a long time.
Sure.
But what separates how good the teams are is really the girl, is how good the
Well, I
girl
was going to
is.
ask you a little bit about that. Like, how much of this is really you and how much of it is her as far as how that blend goes?
I get all the credit. She's just my accessory.
Okay, gotcha. She's just
I have to trust
something
him
on the
a
arm.
lot.
Because you're doing all the heavy lifting, but she's the one that actually looks like she's doing
She's
striking all these
doing the
beautiful
graceful
poses.
part. She's
And
the one
too,
that
I
they're
have
looking
to
at.
hold myself up at sometimes with one arm, one hand.
Right. But she's got to point her toes and smile.
Yep. And hold still and breathe and trust and heart. I usually have no idea that we're falling. If I'm coming down, I don't know until I hit the water.
You don't know if it's part of the trick until you're in the water.
Yeah, I don't really feel the fall.
Right. Sometimes if I have a chance, I'll say, coming down.
Yeah,
Well, because
when he
sometimes
says
on the
coming
dismount,
down-
you're coming down anyway.
Well, I've been still holding my leg and come down and been like, thanks a lot. Let me know
now I'm
next time.
underwater. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it gets a little chippy sometimes.
Well, I got,
We
a lot, I got a lot
do.
to think about.
Yeah.
I'm riding a wave here.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, we'll show you a flat. And
Let's
then
see a flat.
We'll
You
do
guys want to see a flat?
I didn't hear anything.
I mean, I can't hear them.
How about can we also do something else?
Yeah, we'll do a one arm back to a falcon. How's
Okay,
that?
a one arm back falcon.
Okay. Should I take the mic off or?
I
can
don't think
keep it
it'll
on?
reach.
I think it'd be a good
otherwise.
idea.
It'd be great if you could
And-
leave it
And
on.
I
But
should probably get the
Okay.
hell out of the way here.
It looks like it might come
let's
out
see
here.
if it can reach. Because
I
if
think
we
I
could
can do
leave you
it.
guys on.
Yep.
Mine too.
think it's
I
on.
think it'll fly off my head.
Okay, well let's
In this maneuver, it might come off of her.
let's take yours off.
Okay.
The drama.
So what we do is, as we drop into the wave,
Should I keep this on, Dan?
we do
Yeah,
our
I
bottom
want to
turn.
stand up too. Okay.
All right, we drop
I'm
into
gonna
the
back up
wave.
right
We
here
do
so
our
I'm out of
bottom
your
turn,
way.
which is usually like this. She puts her front leg up, and this is kind of how we're surfing. And then we set our line down the line. And then I go arm, leg, ready up.
Wow. So you just stand there like that.
And then it's kind of
While
a
surfing,
press.
bend your knees a little
Then
bit.
I point my
Dude, he just
pinky
adjusted
towards
it-
the sky.
He just adjusted his mic with his other hand while he was
And then
doing
coming
that.
down.
Unbelievable.
Normally we only hold it for 3 seconds. But that's okay. And then that was a flat. Okay, then you get her safely to the board, and this is called a one arm back. I got to get under skin, and then one leg, ready up. You see, timing's very important here. That's why you get girls with dance, gymnastics,
Wow.
cheerleading experience. And this is to
Unbelievable.
a falcon. And then to get her down safely, you cup the back of her, small of her back, and set her right down.
Look at these two.
Unbelievable.
So we do a lot of
Amazing.
land practice beforehand, until it's rote, until
Guys,
we've really got it
That
down.
is so awesome.
So
Cool.
you guys
Wow.
you learn that on land.
Yeah, we do. We do a lot of land practice, and it's good to do it with other teams as well. So that you can see, a little bit different ways to get in and out of the lifts.
My daughter is a competitive cheerleader, and I can totally see flyers doing what
Those are the
she
girls
does.
you look for.
Yeah.
Flyers, girls with dance experience, like I say, gymnasts. Very
Now,
good.
what about a throw? Have you ever actually released?
Oh yeah.
I've thrown her. Sometimes you don't
And
realize
caught
when
her?
you're under pressure. You don't realize how capable you are of throwing a human being.
Oh.
And so I've thrown her
Interesting.
from here to that car.
Definitely.
Easy.
I've flown. Yeah. But like I said, as
And
long
been
as
caught.
I hit the water and
No,
not
I
the
meant
board.
like
Oh,
up
in
and
the
caught.
air and then
yeah,
catch.
yeah.
Well, we had a wave actually earlier in the contest at Oceanside where she got up a little bit late, and then we hit a bump, and she
yeah.
went flying off of the side of the board. But it just so happened that I caught her with my arm and set her back down on the board. But she was airborne.
I was like off. I was in no man's land.
Yeah.
Well, like in cheerleading, like the flyer gets a lot of the attention, of course, but the bases are so important to making it happen. And clearly what you're doing there, the strength and the ability to have that core while surfing Man, that's incredible. How are you not like Laird Hamilton? How do you not look like Laird Hamilton?
Well, naked, I do
on
look
here?
like Laird Hamilton. I'm ripped. I mean, we're on radio. I've been told I've got a face for radio, but my body's just, I've got like 5% body fat. Really, Adonis looks at me.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, let's answer the question. What was it?
Okay. Well, we do lift quite a bit. We go out and we work. We do the same land practice of all of our routines at the gym. We belong to the same gym. We do it in front of mirrors to kind of work on the fine points.
Have you ever gotten on an Indo board and tried it?
No, that's a good idea, actually.
That would be a good balance thing, but the surfing and the balance isn't the problem.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's like I say, a lot of the men at this level can already surf well.
Yeah. So you've been surfing a long time. When did you start surfing?
I moved here from Montana at 14. I moved to La Jolla, California.
Where in Montana?
Bozeman.
All right.
And, I played hockey and baseball and football. And then I got a boogie board the first day, and I went out and I saw people surfing, and I was like, oh, no, that's what I want to do.
Right.
And then I went and got a surfboard the next day.
Sorry,
and
Cam.
I was ruined. All those team sports went by the wayside.
Yeah,
And
of course.
So that was 32 years ago.
And so where was this?
This is La Jolla Shores.
La Jolla, and so La Jolla is your spot. That's where you've been surfing your whole life.
Mostly. I mean, I've
Some
traveled quite a
blacks,
bit. I went to
some-
college in Europe, so I surfed a lot of Southwest France.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
Oh, I don't want to give away any more surf spots now.
Oh, come on.
Okay. There's
Beach
really good
breaks in
surf.
France?
Southwest France on the Atlantic side. The
Okay.
Gulf de Gascogne. There's Biarritz, Anglet, Hossegor.
Yeah.
Next year, the World Championship's going to be in Lacanau.
It is?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah. So
You see, you pronounce those much different than I've ever pronounced them phonetically.
French.
He speaks French.
So I'm
You'll
like,
have that.
oh, look, it's at Lacanau. You're all right, Lacanau. How do you say it?
Lacanau.
You're Biarritz. I always called it
Biarritz.
Barretts.
Biscarros.
Yeah,
right?
Biscarros. Yeah, Biscarros had a
You also call it
championship
the
this year.
Boug de Bologna
Boug de Bologna.
I
instead
call
of
it
the
the
Bois de Bologna.
I call it the fillet mignon.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
I just call them fries.
So, and were you doing shortboard surfing, longboard surfing, everything?
I was
What-
doing everything: shortboard, longboard. I was making boards at the time and bringing them to Europe, and that's
Okay.
what was putting me through college.
And were you there about the time Curran was there?
I was there a little bit before him. I was there.
Really?
Let's see. I don't even know exactly when he was there, but Curran is one of my heroes. I mean, great,
Me too.
incredible surfer.
Yeah.
But I was there 94 and 95. Yeah, 93, 94, 95.
Okay. Gotcha.
Now, do both of you still surf a lot solo, or is it primarily concentrated on the tandem, like always?
I do. I surf longboard and shortboard
yeah.
and big waves, and I try to get ollie out every time we can. But normally, when we're surfing together, we're working on our tandem focus.
Yeah.
This is what we do
If you're
professionally.
both at the same place at the same time with a big surfboard,
Yep.
let's practice what we do.
And I'm not the best at solo surfing.
But you do.
I do. Yeah. I need to find the right board for my size, and I don't have one.
Yeah.
And so for me, to find the right board to then be able to surf on and practice on would help a lot.
Yeah.
But my main focus is tandem, and so anytime our schedules work out and we can get in the water, it's definitely tandem.
Well, one of the things we want to talk about with you guys is there's an incredible opportunity for any sponsors that are out there that would like to get involved with Alia and Travis. These guys are traveling the world. They are absolutely dedicated, incredible athletes. And they have a lot of stoke, a lot of personality, and they would be great representatives of your brand. And the pictures are unbelievable.
Thank you.
Wow.
So we would love for someone to contact these guys and say, hey, we believe in what you're doing and want to be part of the stoke of this whole thing. And where can they reach you guys at?
We appreciate that, first of all. Thank you so much. I have a website at aliayoga.com. You can find me. It's AHLIAYOGA.
Probably need to spell that, yeah.
So my name is Alia Hoffman, AHLIA Hoffman with 2 F's and 1 N. And my website, aliayoga.com. And then Instagram is great. My Instagram is Tandem Surf _Yogini. I have the Facebook and all of the social media. But my email address, I guess, is the best way to go, Alia at ahliayoga.com, AHLIA. And then Travis is tandemsurfer@gmail.com. So easy.
Tandemsurfer@gmail.com, alia_yoga.com. And so you also teach yoga lessons. So if you want to get some yoga taught by this incredible young lady, you can do that as well.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I teach in Encinitas up and down the coast. I teach for Equinox La Costa and Evolve in Encinitas, Vinyasa Arts as well, Rancho Valencia. So I'm all over North County. I do private sessions, donation yoga classes twice a week in Encinitas and one in Cardiff.
So what's you're like, she's like a black belt in yoga, basically. And so what's your black belt move?
You want to see a move?
I'd like to see a black belt level move. Of course, I have to watch Jim do yoga every week, and so I've seen the downward dog plenty, but I need some black belt stuff.
I'll show you. I'll show you black belt.
She's like, she's confident. She's like, I'll show you some black belt right now.
She's good.
Watch this. Okay, she just like tied herself in a knot and is doing a push-up.
That's different than the one I do.
It's a little bit different. Oh, one-footed. Oh, look at how it creates a little leg bar.
The one-footed invert.
That is incredible.
That's impressive.
Unbelievable. Are you guys catching this?
What else do you want to see? Grasshopper. These are all arm balances.
Oh, look how she puts her foot on her leg. That's crazy.
Is that black belt enough for you?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if I ever get into like a Twister championship situation, I am calling you up.
Yeah.
Because we can make some money with that stuff right there.
That's right.
That is amazing.
I'd be happy to help you with a Twister championship.
You never know. You never know.
Anytime.
Right here, and you'll see it here live on the Action Sports Show
dear.
set.
Oh, we're bringing the Twister championship
What
here.
have I committed myself to?
So,
Is there money involved?
I mean, it's a championship.
Okay.
Of course there's money
I'm
involved.
in. We'll win it.
Hey, so great luck to you both coming out this next weekend.
Thank you, Jim.
Hope you absolutely go kill it and get 2 more spots up on the podium here this
Thank
time.
Keep us posted.
Is there any tournaments that are going to be local here in the near future where some of the folks around here can come see you guys perform?
Absolutely.
Yes, Swami Surfing Association will be having their annual Return to the Reef, which is in, I believe, October. It's at Cardiff Reef. If you want to go see more about the surfing clubs up and down the coast, they're all nonprofits or not-for-profits. You can go to surfclubs.org or you can go to Oceanside Longboard Surfing Club.org. That's our local club.
Wow.
And then we'll have the Velzy, right?
Yeah, there's the Dale Velzy competition going on up in Doheny State Beach
That
in
one's really
mid-September. Yeah, it's a good one.
Very cool. Well, we're in connection now. Super stoked having you guys out. Please keep us in the
thanks,
loop.
Jim.
Thank
Love to
you.
come watch you guys perform again. I think it's amazing.
All right.
We
well,
appreciate it so
Oh.
much. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Mahalo.
Thank you guys. You guys kick some serious butt. That's awesome.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Now, that other guy was going to come on the set here for a second, the cowboy.
Oh, yes.
Should we welcome him on
we
real quick?
definitely do need to hear from the
Cowboy.
cowboy
You know,
a little bit.
I can help you. I just
Can you
get
go
my
grab him?
cowboy hat.
Can you go get him?
Yeah, would you go grab
Okay,
him
Travis
for
is
us?
going to go
Travis
grab
is gonna
Cowboy here for just a second. And, you know,
This is my favorite person to surf with.
Cowboy?
Cowboy.
Well, that was quick. You found him already.
Oh, hey, Cowboy.
Wow, you are from Montana.
Howdy.
You can put that thing on behind you like this. And then whip this puppy forward right like that.
Now you're a
Wow,
pilot.
look at that.
Now you're a cowboy flying a plane, ladies and
All
gentlemen.
right.
Please keep seated.
All right. I dabble in cowboy poetry, I guess. I'm not a singer. I can dance better than most white guys, but I can't really act my way out of the paper bag.
Pretty fly
Before
for a
you
white
start,
guy.
before you start, Travis and I traveled together for surfing, and what you're about to witness, I have to endure
On a regular?
on a regular basis, but
She's
it's
heard
not
all my
so bad.
jokes.
You'll see. Oh, several times.
Yes. Okay. All right. This is written in 1915 by a guy named Curly Fletcher, and this isn't really word for word, but this is how my father tells it. It's called the Strawberry Roan. Well, I was lying around town just spending my time. I was out of a job and I didn't have a dime. When this feller steps up and he says, I suppose you're a bronc rider from the looks of your clothes.
Aw.
Well, I said you guessed right, and a good one I claimed. Wow, you got any bad ones that you need tamed? Well, he said, I got one that's a good and a buck, and for throwing good riders, well, he's had lots of luck. So I got all excited, and I asked what he pays to ride this cayuse for a couple of days. He offered a 10 spot, and I said, I'm your man, because a bronc never lived that I couldn't fan. No, a bronc never lived, he just never drew a breath until he starved plumb to death. And I don't mean to brag, but I got this to say, I ain't been piled up in many a day. So he says, grab your saddle, I'll give you a chance. We jumped in the buckboard, we rode out to the ranch. We waited till morning, and right after Chuck, we went out to see if that outlaw could buck. And there in the horse corral, standing all alone, there stood that old pony, the Strawberry Roan. He spavined all around and pigeon-toed with little pig eyes and a mean Roman nose. His pointed little ears, they nearly touched at the tip, and a big 44 brand burned in his hip. The all-hued neck with a long lower jaw. Heck, you could see with one eye, he's a regular outlaw. So I buckled on my spurs because I was feeling plumb fine. I pulled down my hat and I curled up my twine. Well, we got a loop on him, and I knew right then when I rode this old pony, I'd earned that 10. We got the blinds on him. It was one hell of a fight. Next come the saddle, and I screwed her down tight. I got in the middle and pulled off his blinds and said, step back, boys, he's gonna unwind. Well, he bowed his old neck, and he surely unwound. He just stopped living down there on the ground. He comes up in the east, he comes down in the west, and I'm squeezing the leather. I'm doing my best. Then he bellered and farted and let out a big sigh and jumped straight towards heaven. Didn't need no wings to fly. I ain't kidding you. He's the rankest pony I ever seen on the range. He'll turn on a nickel, and it'll leave you some change. And when he came back down, he jumped straight to the side. I don't see how he kept from losing his hide. But then he did this big jump, and he did this high dive, and he just left me spinning up there in the sky. I turned over twice. And once I finally bounced off the earth, I commenced a cussing the day of his birth. So now I know there are some ponies that I can't ride. Some are still living, they haven't all died. But I'll bet all my money there ain't a cowboy alive that can stick with that Strawberry when he makes that high dive. Curly Fletcher, 1915.
Woohoo! Great job.
Thank you, boys.
That is awesome.
All right.
Hey,
I had no idea what to expect.
Well, I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't act, but I fancy myself a raconteur. A storyteller, if you will.
Hey, you do a great job of it. I heard some other years, and you guys are going to have to come back and see us again. I hope you will. After,
love to, Jim.
After this next performance, and you know you're local here, and my hometown of Encinitas. Oh, I gave away another surf spot. Sorry about that.
Oh. Yeah, Encinitas isn't that secret anymore.
Apparently, the last time I went through it, I'm like, who are all these people?
Just so you guys know, also, people that go on competitions directly after coming on the show tend to have some extraordinary luck. So you guys are really in a good situation
right
right
now.
So
Yes.
Hey, we appreciate it, Dan.
The mojo
I
of
don't
the
want
Action
to count it
Sports Show
before it's
rolls
there,
well.
but
Yeah, we thank you guys.
make room on the mantle.
All right.
And I'm going to do you a solid too, Dan. I want to remind you it's your anniversary.
Happy anniversary to
My
Dan.
anniversary, 19 years to my
don't forget.
Wow.
lovely Swedish wife, Mia.
Yes.
And,
Right on. Congrats, man.
She is she's my everything. Since you brought it up, I got to say it. I would have brought it up on my own at some point, but yeah.
Very sweet.
Very
Cool.
good.
Don't
That's
Happy.
wonderful.
I might bring it up again.
Here's
Bring
to
some
19
home.
more, my friend. Ollie Hoffman, Travis Long, thanks so much for coming joining us here on the Action Sports Show. And when we come back, we're going to talk to Bing Cosby and Neil Switzer. Don't go away, folks. More of the Action Sports Show when we come back.
It'll rock your brain, ruin your good name, take money for your shame, and we're all entertained. What can you do?
Catch the Action Sports Show powered by Toyota of Escondido Tuesdays, 6:30 p.m. right here on ESPN 1700. Featuring Jim Holtus, the host, the agent, Dan McGranahan. Get fired up by amazing guests from the world of action sports, such as Supercross star Cooper Webb, UFC title contender Dominic Cruz, FMX superstar Robbie Madison, surfer Tori Meister, musician Graham Nancaro, and more. The Action Sports Show brings you the biggest names in the action sports world. Tune in every Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. right here on ESPN 1700.
This is Shannon Campbell.
Hi, this is Walker Evans.
Big Daddy here.
This is Jeremy McGrath.
Hello, this is Jay Leno.
This is Mario Andretti.
This is Carl Renazetter.
This is Rick Dale with Rick's Restorations.
This is Paul Tracy.
Hey, this is Sonny Garcia.
This is Trigger Gum, Daredevil.
My name is Paul Thacker.
Robbie Gordon here.
This is Ryan Arciero of Arciero Miller Racing.
I'm Ryan Friedlinghaus, CEO of West Coast Customs.
This is Kerry Hart.
Hey, I'm Tanner Faust.
Travis Pastrana here from Nitro Circuit, and you're listening to the Action Sports Show.
You're on, guys.
Folks, we are back for round 2 of the Tandem Surf Contest. We're going to see another demonstration here in just a moment. I don't know if they were quite aware of that or not.
I don't know which one's the base and which one's the top.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not lifting Bing, and he can't lift me.
And I'll tell you, I'm all about that base. I'm just saying. So, hey, let's welcome our next couple guests here to the show. The president of the club, the Oceanside Longboard Surf Club, Bing Cosby. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having us.
And Neil Schweitzer, I said that wrong. I'll go on record as saying that wrong. He's been your longtime voice and club member for a long time. And
20 years in the club so far.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
First of all, what a great event you guys put on. Along with Guy Takayama, who's out here in the audience here this weekend. It was our pleasure to be, out there with you guys supporting it. And this thing's been going on for a long time. And what a prestigious deal.
32 long years. 32 long years. And he started in '84 was our inaugural year, and
way before your time.
Well, yeah, I was surfing. I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
But my first contest was actually 86 or 87, I forget which, but I was just a little 16-year-old. Yeah, so it's been around. And you, 20 years. Jeez.
Yeah, I've been surfing since I was 9. It's about 50-some years.
50-something years. How old are you?
All righty then. I'm 65.
Now, are you both from the area here? You already lived out here all your life?
Well, you know what? I moved out here when I was 16 and went to Carlsbad High, and when I was a sophomore, and man, this was an eye opener when I got out here.
Yeah.
Where
were you?
I was in Texas. I grew up on the beach in Texas, like we have in Coronado.
More
here.
Texas surfers.
Exactly.
They were all
That's
over the
why
place
I like
all
those
weekend.
guys
I
over
can't
there.
believe it.
Yeah, they had a big contingency out here this weekend. I was super stoked for them, and they did really well. In fact, one of them, Zach May, even beat me in the finals. Got second place. I got third. But that was good. I've won many times and gotten.
He's like,
I don't care anymore.
He's one of those guys that's like, but I'm not mad. But he brings it up right away.
But I'll meet you in the parking lot.
You're
not mad.
So check this out. So I was born in '70, and my dad was already surfing, and we grew up on an island in Texas, and my grandpa had a big old Bubba Gump shrimp boat, and we were a fishing family, and had a grocery store on the beach, so it was just natural. And the salesman came around in the '60s and said, "Hey, Jesse, you got to get some of these things that are all the rage in California are surfboards." And of course, they were longboards. That's all they had back then. So after that, Dad was ruined, and I grew up surfing on the beach with him.
He's still ruined.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's how that worked. And then, I lived all over. I lived in Corpus Christi and South Padre. He was a regional director for the TSA, the Texas Surfing Association. So I was able to, go to all the contests and boy state champion. You hear that, Kevin? Boy state champion in like 78, 79, and 80, but no, I say that because I used to, they used to have the U.S. championships in the East Coast and North Carolina, and Hawaii and California, and they even did it in Texas. So when they came around, it was a super blast. It was fun. So I've been surfing forever, but all my adult life I've been out here in Carlsbad and in Oceanside, a little spat in Kauai and.
A little spat in Kauai.
Just a little bit.
Not quite long enough, probably.
No. Yeah, well, five winters in Kauai was pretty fun, but, you miss the mainland after a little while. But,
if you say so.
But no, it's, the funny thing is that, I always, back in growing up in the 70s and doing all these contests and stuff, we would ride kneeboards, longboards, and...
Scott Whitehead, you hear that?
It was
kneeboards.
It's crazy. I mean, kneeboarders. A friend brought this up the other day, and I have incredible memories of where I grew up of this one guy that would kneeboard, and he would go out and drop in on the deepest, heaviest, like days that nobody could even go out. He would be like, you'd look out, and then you'd see him like just way off in the distance, dropping in, pulling in.
Getting slotted.
Getting totally slotted. Kneeboarders can just like dominate. His name was Hosey. Yeah, gnarly guy. So gnarly. I remember it vividly to this day. Yeah. Just watching him just going, dude, I wouldn't even go out at all right now, and he's just charging.
Nice.
And kneeboarders are crazy. And it's like that with kneeboarders up and down the coast.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they're a very special breed.
It doesn't matter what you ride, as long as you're having fun, right?
Yeah, I mean.
It matters to him. If you're a boogie boarder or a kneeboarder, you're not a surfer, clearly.
I didn't say that.
You're a speed bump.
But, you know, I think it's all about having fun, agreed. And it's all about the right board for the scenario you're in also.
Absolutely.
And so I love to surf longboards and shortboards and never really gotten into the paddle thing. But it seems like those guys are having fun and doing all sorts of stuff with it. And I like to embrace that. I think that's awesome. And I think people should embrace that. Do I like to sit inside when there's a bunch of longboarders out there, like at the peak, just like taking every wave and paddling right past me at 1,000 miles an hour? Yeah, I love that.
You got to adjust and overcome.
Surfboards are kind of like golf clubs. You don't drive with a putter.
That's right. If you can't beat them, you better be ready to join them.
Yeah.
No. So you guys are the Oceanside Longboard Club. How many members do you have? We just got finished with this, participating in this great contest you guys did.
Yeah, we throw in a great 3-day event, like he said, 32 years now, and just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And you know, our general membership can go anywhere from 80 to 115. You know, it kind of fluctuates, but we got people all over the world. You know, people in Arizona, NorCal, Montana, or you know, wherever. They're all over. But our core is right around here, and we do get-togethers and have fun and Christmas parties, and we actually beat Doheny Longboard Surfing Club at bowling at Surf Bowl in Oceanside a couple months ago for 2 years in a row. So we all get together and have fun. And,
if you're wondering if this guy's competitive, he has clearly shown his teeth.
It's really quite ridiculous.
He just claimed beating another club at bowling.
Oh, we have a blast. No, they challenged us. And we beat their butts last year and again.
Of course, they took out Solana Beach in the poker tournament as well.
That's kind of a bad idea.
Right?
So you guys do surf against these other clubs?
Yeah, we do.
That's a thing? It's competitive?
That's cool. Well, you know, I'll tell you a little background. Okay, so there's a coalition of surfing clubs. There's clubs up and down the coast. They've been around for 50-plus years, like Malibu and Wind and Sea, and
Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz, and you know, all the regions had their own little surf clubs. You know, like Palos Verdes Surf Club back in the 30s and 40s, and
that's probably a pretty heavy club.
Yeah, and you know, it's so everybody has their little regional surf clubs, but we're kind of evolved into a little tour. We have 7 big contests, and the 7 big teams usually put them on. You know, you got Wind and Sea does theirs. You got Oceanside going up the coast. You got Malibu. You've got Doheny, Swamis, and then who else is for points? I'm thinking about the points right now.
Here comes the competitive part.
Santa Cruz. You can't forget Santa Cruz.
2 at Malibu.
Yeah, well, there's 2 at Malibu. That's right, the Malibu Boardwalker Club and then the original MSA, Malibu Surfing Association. But getting back to Santa Cruz, in '84, they had a little reciprocating thing going between Oceanside and Santa Cruz, and we decided to do a club contest together. So we went up and saw them at a Steamer Lane, and then they came back down here in Oceanside Pier, and that kind of started this little snowball of club contests.
Yeah.
So then all the big guys started doing them again, you know, and we end up with this little yearly tour with 7 biggies for points, and you know, we go for the Perpetual Trophy, which is a big old wooden board by Surfer's Choice, and we've got about, I don't know how many years, is it 25 plus years of who won what, and you know, and so you know, it's kind of a fun little thing. And what's cool about the contest is you get to see the same families surf against. Like if you're a little rat like my kids, you surf against the same kids at Malibu or Swamis, and they all kind of grow up, and you know, there's different divisions, and you know, there's women's, there's young women's and mini huni girls all the way up to the legends who are 70 plus, and you know, it's like Ohana. You know, we'll go up to Malibu and we'll take over there for 3 days the parking lot, and nobody will move their vehicles. So it's like a giant party, and we have a lot of fun. But what's going on is right behind that wall is the surf, and everybody's just hooting and hollering and trying to outdo each other and having a blast. And then at the end of the night, you're doing the same thing in the parking lot, and you wake up and do it again, and then you know, it's kind of a fun little thing we have going here.
Who's the most competitive club?
We are by far.
Yeah, we pretty much try to win at everything. Absolutely.
I had no idea you would say that.
I would let me just tell you, Dan. So we won last year and we won this year, but before that,
let me just give you
the 3 years prior,
lowdown.
Windansea had won.
Okay.
For 3 years.
Can't let that happen.
But 3 years before that, we had won 3 years in a row. So the last almost 10 years now, it's been Windansea and Oceanside. So, you know, we kind of duel back and forth, you know, and then occasionally Doheny will get in there in Malibu sometimes, you know, but, you know,
and so who brings the judging? Because you guys probably have judges from each group. How do you deal with the judging when you have inter contests? And do you feel like there's judging sort of favoritism?
Well, some of the contests they'll have coalition judges, which is just volunteers from all the clubs. The coalition will put on a training session. You attend these things and learn what the criteria is, learn what to look for, and you know, get a feel for what judging's all about. And then there's people like us. We have paid judges, semi-pro, I guess we'd call them. Mm-hmm. But they're all our buddies, and they judge surf contests all up and down the coast.
Mm-hmm. And what do they judge on? Just is there like a form technique? Is it overall impression? Do you know what they typically like to do?
Well,
I'm maybe getting a little too technical on it, but
yeah, and it varies from, like I said, if you've got coalition judging, some guys are looking for straight traditional stuff. They want to see nose riding, cross stepping, you know, the sole arches. Some guys want to see on the tail hitting lips and big cutbacks and maneuvers. But as a rule, the winning combination is a little bit of everything, mixing it up and making the very difficult look very easy.
Nice.
Making the judges smile is what we say.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's this big at Malibu, or
right.
even our contest was a little smaller this year. We just tell each other, go out there and do something crazy, make the judges smile, you know.
Yeah.
Make it a little different than the last guy behind you. But
that's when you need some of those yoga poses.
Bing's not opposed to doing a headstand once in a while, or a cockroach.
I didn't do one this year.
The cockroach.
I thought about that last night. I didn't do a headstand this year. I usually throw them in when it's in the white water, just for filler.
So is your guys' club more of a high performance club, more of a soul club? Like, how would you describe it?
I would say it's mixed, wouldn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Bag. I mean, we've got a total mix of the young, hot ripper guys, and we've got guys as old as me and older that are, you know, from the old school. That's how they surf. That's how they live.
It never changed.
And never will.
Yep.
It's a total mix.
But no,
hey, you don't fix a good thing, right?
No, absolutely not.
No, we like to mix it up. We like to have it all in there because it's all surfing and it all represents the sport. And to be able to do it all shows that you're well-rounded.
Mm-hmm.
Where does the longboard, shortboard thing sort of the line get drawn? Because I saw at your contest there was a paddleboard guy, and he had what looked to me like a 6'8" wide shortboard with a pin like shortboard style nose. Like, where's the line drawn?
Well, a lot of clubs will have divisions for shortboards as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Doheny does that. Swami's has done that before.
Done it before.
And we have a lot of shortboarders. I shortboard all the time. Just I don't ride longboard all the time. I ride whatever. If it gets over shoulder high, and it depends on where I'm at, I'm hitting the lip and doing some fat roundhouses and trying to do the best I can, you know. But when we go out and we do our contest, you know, I'll hop on the longboard for a week before and just kind of dial that in. And,
sure.
But we got guys that do everything. I mean, you can stick any of our people on little fishes, little 5-foot fishes, and they'll rip. And
so there's no rules like that for you guys?
No, we don't care.
Cool.
You know, everybody surfs everything. We're not hardcore. We just, if you're an all-around waterman, then you can ride anything, and that's what we respect.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Right on. How have you guys had some big days for your contest? Any that come to memory?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Was it about 5 years ago? We had a day when it
South
was
swell.
Big South. The water was freezing cold, and it was, you know, easy triple overhead. Everybody's
tickling the bottom of the pier.
Yeah,
that's a heavy place to get out
when
there
big
before
like
they
that.
go out their heat, going,
you know. Yeah, it was
jumping off the pier trying to get out.
Well, you know, and then it's a raging south, so you got the current taking you into the pier, which can be pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Especially when the older guys get out there, the kids, so we get real watchful and
watch it, man.
But yeah, I know it's the thing about our contest is it's a beach break.
Yeah.
You know, so we don't have that point set up like Malibu,
right,
or places like that,
or Santa Cruz,
so,
or whatever. Yeah.
But there's a good and bad to either. You know, Malibu, everybody's going right, and you can kind of see what's coming every time. It's kind of a, you know, after a while, it's just get machine-like.
Sure.
You know, and then when somebody throws in some good style and does something funky like switch dance or you know, whatever, then they go, ooh, that's pretty cool. You know, our contest, we usually have 3 peaks: the south end, the middle end, and the right by the pier.
I mean, your contest area, I was
it's humongous.
Like surprised at
we
how
take
big
as far
it was.
as we can every
you
time.
guys go way down there.
We push the limits.
Like that's the buoy way down there.
Yeah, that was it.
We moved the buoy down until the city of Oceanside scolds us.
Yeah.
we know that because we brought the families in to go surf and boogie board. It's like, okay, you have to go way down that
half
way.
mile down the beach.
Or they're up there and it's like dredge, like dirty.
Or the other side of the pier.
The other side of the pier, yeah. Well, they're dredging right now. Unfortunately, it was during the contest, but it didn't leak over our side. It stayed on the north. But, you know, then our contest is a completely different feel. We have these peaks everywhere, so there's a lot of high performance surfing going on.
Yeah.
You know, you'll see everything on any wave, and people are just adapting and doing it really quickly. You know, our waves you take off, run to the nose, boom, little cutty, and then you see a section coming at you. You're like, I'm gonna hit this thing. So you pump it at one time. Then, to me, I like to just hit it as hard and fast as I can and push myself out, get a little bit of air. You know, fast and furious is how I like to surf. You know, and then it's a little white water. Then I'll throw in my headstand, you know, whatever, until it gets to the inside, and then you'll get a couple sections where you can go right or go left, and you can get a little barrel or this little nose ride, and then boom, you're stepping off in the sand.
So the pier there basically has like a lull midsection before it really reforms on the inside.
And it spreads people out, which is really cool. So I like our contest the most out of everybody. I mean, Malibu's cool because of the location. You can just get this freight train right if there's any size to it.
Sure.
But then it gets monotonous a little bit. Ours is kind of like everything goes.
The beauty of that contest is you can pay $80 or $100 or whatever they're getting now. You get an expensive T-shirt and coffee cup, but you get to surf Malibu for 20 minutes with only like 4 or 5 guys.
Yeah, and Alan Sarlo's not out there yelling at you.
Yeah.
There's nowhere else you can buy that.
No, when it's overhead, it's worth its weight in gold for sure, you know. So, yeah, no, so that's the different setups, you know, for the contest and how we roll. And, you know, getting back to the judges up there, I mean, we've had David Nuevo on our stand up there for years and years, you know, and a lot of hot surfers up there too. And just older dudes that like to watch the whole thing and kind of, you know, eyeball everybody, and it's fun, and it's classic to go up there and listen to them too, you know.
Oh, I bet. I bet you guys get at it. And so you've been calling the surf for, how long you been calling the surf for?
Well, it's been, 15, 18 years. I don't know, a long time.
Yeah, I remember when I first did it in the 80s, it was like Chris Aarons and the guy with the straw hat, I forget his name.
Stan.
Stan
Jones. He's the one that kind of pulled me into it. He was my mentor. He needed a bathroom break, and he pulled me in there, and he goes, come here and sit down, Neil.
Talk.
So he disappeared for about 15 minutes, and I'm sitting there going, and then I started watching what was going on and going, oh, well, he's in that, you know, and just start talking about what I'm seeing, talking about the people out there that I know and giving them a little background and color on them, and the rest is history.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That whole tell me what you see is so, like, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
See it. Talk about it. It's really simple.
The people in the water are making the moves. You're just pointing them out, so the spectators that are not as versed at what's going on there can see, put a name to a maneuver and put a name to a face or a type of board and you know, it's just you're basically
we also educate them a little bit, you know.
Yeah, and plus we mess with people a lot too and have a lot of fun with that.
Stuff, you know.
I do like that.
Yeah, it's fun. Well, it's no different than NASCAR. You know, the guys are sitting up there and they're commentating. Okay, he's got a tailwind. He's going to go boom. You know, we're just up there telling what's going on and try to make it fun too, and make fun of a few people here and there. And, you know, it's all in good fun.
I can relate. Grew up commentating off-road racing and moto, and I'm just telling you folks at home what I see.
And last year he rolled 10 times and got out unscathed. Right? That's we've been, you know, he's been doing it for so long. he remembers. He throws out these stories and stuff, and it's classic.
Well, I was going to ask you, do you have a go-to phrase? You know, there's that famous one of, you paid for the whole seat, but you're only going to need the edge. Like, what's
the waves might be small, but the beers are big.
Is that your go-to phrase?
Well, that was this year. I don't know. He comes up with all kinds of one-liners.
What would people that listen to you a lot say is your go-to?
Oh, jeez.
Anything come to mind?
There's too many.
Yeah, I puke them out repeatedly, and I retain very few of them. It's kind of all in the moment.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
A lot of MCs are like, I can't listen to myself. I'd be so annoyed if I listened to myself all the time.
There's so much going on that to retain it all on a consistent basis is.
No, we just make it fun.
I'm not that smart.
We make it fun, and all the time we get people come and say, hey, you guys are classic up there. You're so funny. We're sitting there, and maybe there's a lull in the heat for 2 or 3 minutes, and we just start talking, or we'll start singing the beer song. Or,
every year we try to make up a beer song for the beer garden.
Sure.
Because we're trying to make money for our community, so, we got
And you use a little bit of the best of what you hear from others. Like when I'm commentating racing out in Crandon, Wisconsin, I can give the ho-ho doctor, and they don't know that it's Jerry Coleman's baseball slogan here, which I did. Hey, folks, we got to take a little break. More with these guys, a lot more stories when we come back. The Action Sports Show powered by Toyota Escondido. Don't go anywhere.
It'll rot your brain, ruin your good name, take money for your shame, and we're all entertained. What can you do?
Hi, folks, Jim here, and I want to talk to you about Slime Tire Sealant. Racers in all classes of motorcycles, ATV, bugs, cars, trucks are using Slime Tire Sealant to prevent flats, including pre-runners. Smart teams are even using slime inside their trailer tires, too. I mean, how many tires do you have? Think about it. Do you have motorcycles, ATVs, cars, trucks, trailers, wheelbarrows, mowers, and bikes? How many flats have you had in the last year? Maybe the answer's none. Maybe you're due for one. How much time and money can flat tires cost you? How about just the peace of mind? Nobody likes flat tires at all. Just pre-install Slime Tire Sealant to prevent flat tires. Slime is a liquid tire sealant that easily installs after taking out the valve core of the tire with the tool provided. Once inside, slime seeks out and seals punctures instantly and repeatedly, and is guaranteed for 2 years. Slime is non-toxic, non-combustible, water-soluble, and does not void tires' warranties, unlike that other stuff in the can. Go for Slime in the Gallon for all your off-road tires. If it isn't green, it isn't slime. Put trust in your tires. Slime, there's no stopping you.
It's true. The best new cars make the best used cars. And Toyota of Escondido is once again #1 in Toyota certified used cars and trucks. Feel confident driving with the peace of mind of a 160-point inspection and Carfax report. You also get a 12-month or 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty from certified purchase date, plus a 7-year or 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty from original date of sale when new. Please ask for complete warranty details. Toyota certified sales leader for San Diego County for 2014.
Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Brother Toymeister coming at you live from the Action Sports Show. Come check us out. You better like them, man. Yeep, doggy.
You're on, guys.
Folks, welcome back to the Action Sports Show. Powered by Toyota Escondido Action Sports. Jim Holtis, Dan McGranahan, the usual suspects. But hey, if you're just joining us, this is your one-stop shop each and every week for anything and everything in the action sports world, whether it be like tonight's surf, skate, snow, BMX last week. I mean, you talk about it, and we cover it. So it's always the place to go. And while you're on the website, follow our social media at TE Action Sports. That's at TE Action Sports. Subscribe to the podcast. inject cool information into your brain directly each and every week and automatically every time. I know Dan loves it. And, oh, man.
I watched this show called Brain Dead. It is an interesting show. I don't know if you've seen it, but they like have these ants that crawl in people's heads. I couldn't even begin to explain it, but but I think of that when you say that, like we're ants crawling in your head, changing how you think when you say that. So.
You know what's cool though? When you subscribe to the podcast or on the YouTube, if you go home and you have like Apple TV or any of those things, you can just pop it up right on there and like watch us on the widescreen, which is you're gonna like it. I guarantee it.
Yeah, 1080p for real. Hey, what happened to our banner?
It's dark.
It's
lower than it used to.
Lowered.
Yeah. So, but hey, we're talking to Bing Crosby and Neil Schweitzer. Now, Bing, you told me the story. You're actually named after Bing Crosby. It's not like an accident, right?
No. It's the 30-second story is.
Your dad sounds like he'd be fun to hang out with.
He's totally fun to hang out with, and he still surfs, In fact, he's still got a surf shop in Texas, going strong,
Bingo.
Yeah, but back in '47 when my dad was born, our last name was Cosby, so this is what Grandma says. So, she our last name was Cosby, and she had a big crush on Bing back in the day. And he actually married a gal like 40 minutes from him. And he actually came into this grocery store on the way to the beach one time, and this is the 40s, And so she named my dad Bing, and I ended up being Bing Jr., and I even got a little Bingo the Third now, so
that's right.
Keeping it going.
I think it's
Bingo
awesome.
the Third.
Yeah.
Good thing it wasn't a little early. You might have been Bill.
That's the other side of the family. Could go so many ways.
That's classic.
Hey, I love your buffer music, too, I got to tell you.
The Defamers.
Defamer, yeah.
Yeah.
That is by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's written right here. I can tell you. It is by. It's not written right here. Just says Surfing Alien.
Chris, what's
That's
the name of
Alien,
who
right?
sings Defamer? It's
He's going on the World Wide Web right
It's
now.
the lead singer Jim of Pennywise's.
It says the Black Pacific.
The Black Pacific. That was his solo act that he did when he was away from Pennywise,
Nice.
and now they're back together. So, but yeah.
Neil, I'm sensing a rock and roll vein here.
Well, I like to beat on my Les Pauls a little bit once and again.
I was just gonna say it's not an accident that he looks like Sammy Hagar.
That is an accident, trust me.
See that picture of Sammy Hagar next to Bill Clinton, by the way?
And says one's this age, the other
They're the
one's
same
this age. What age is
Sammy
better?
Hagar looks great. Bill Clinton
Politics
looks
or,
like he's
or rock and roll.
eating
Yeah,
crickets at night.
right.
Like creepy, weird old guy. No offense, Mr. President, sir, I guess. Whatever.
Sammy's still
But-
loving it up in Cabo, looking great, sounding great. Yeah.
Rocking the wobble.
I thought it was the opposite, but apparently rock and roll actually can keep you young.
Yeah. Right.
Definitely
Stress kills.
Till it kills you.
And it's obvious. Yeah.
Well, you grab a Les Paul and plug into a Marshall half stack. It'll definitely lower your blood pressure a little for you.
Are you willing to turn it up, my friend?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So are we bringing the Les Paul in next time you come on the show?
Yeah,
That would be
why
cool.
not?
I mean, can you straight up shred on that thing?
Oh,
No,
yeah,
I'm a
he
hack.
does.
I'm a hack, but I have just so much fun with
Uh-huh.
it. My beautiful little girlfriend just bought me a Marshall half stack not long ago, and I'm just having a blast with it.
No, this
That's
guy's
awesome.
cool. I got an old. Speaking of my family, I got an old like '60s old Norma electric guitar, and I took it to him last year, and he took it all apart and started
Yeah.
working on the pots and got it going again. And so he makes guitars and fishing poles, and he's just an all around cool dude.
Nice, very nice. I mean, I picture you having like an old hot rod in the garage and the whole deal. You know?
Do you have a hot
Chevelle?
See?
Yeah.
What is it?
67 Chevelle Malibu.
Let's go cruising, man.
Let's do it. I almost drove it over here tonight.
I got my
was later. I was going to throw a couple boards on it and drive it over here.
He actually does a cruise night with classic
I just
cars.
put on a big
Escondido
called
one?
Pistons and Pinups that was a big cruise through San Diego, and I got a black two-door 55 Chevy.
Oh,
That,
sick. My first car was a 56 two-door 210.
He was telling me some stories about the 56 on the way here by the cross and Lake San Marcos.
You can't say that stuff on the radio.
Sure you can.
Absolutely.
Burnouts for days, man.
I think my first car was like a 89 Scirocco.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
Did the taillights go out? Was all your backup lights
it's
on?
like the first cars in your generation where you couldn't really go wrong. You got an Impala, you got a Bel Air, you got like a Chevelle. Like that's just what was there.
Yeah.
In my era, it was like you got a Yugo or you got a Scirocco.
I got a Vega and an F100.
I had it made.
Even a Vega had a chance of being cool.
Yeah.
Oh, the Cosworth Vegas.
Right.
I had it made in high school. Every day to school, I drove my dad's 67 holes 442.
Nice.
It was a beast.
Really? And all I got was the 53 flatbed Chevy with the 5 windows. It was painted primer gray with the exhaust leak.
Hey, but you were loving that exhaust leak because it made it
cool.
sound good.
It's true.
Depends on where the exhaust leak is. It can actually,
Hey, do you guys
add to the
have any
rumble.
kind of car show attached to your club
we do.
and your charities
Yes,
and all that?
we
Just
do.
you guys.
And Toyota of Escondido came this year and was our car show.
Okay.
We had a bitchin' little Toyota Tahoe and the new RAV4. Those things were sweet.
Maybe a Tacoma.
Tacoma.
Sorry. Okay, Tahoe. That's what I drove here
Oh,
tonight. Sorry. You guys might need to work on that. I pulled up because we were a little late. I said, hey, can I trade this in? They said, yeah. I started walking up to it. I said, no, we're just going to the radio show. Sorry.
Psych.
Oh man, what a nice guy you are. This guy. Those guys are some of the hardest working people in the
No,
game
they were
right
cool.
there.
Cool.
Man.
He said, just park anywhere.
and thank you guys. People seem to dig the cars on display down there by the bands, which, by the way, some awesome bands. I'm going to need to get some contacts for some of those bands for some of the stuff that we do because, damn.
Scott Clayton, On Point Promotions, and he's hooked us up the last 2 years with some really cool bands.
How many was there total?
I think there was 16.
Yeah. Man,
we need to get some of them to come be on the show.
Well, that's what, and we feature music artists and stuff. Yeah. Our very first show had Graham Nancaro from Nancaro on here. And,
oh yeah.
Oh nice.
Nice.
Rock
No,
and roll.
it's fun. You know, he's got a little bit of everything, and a little rock, a lot of reggae.
Love the reggae.
Yeah. Yeah. My little brother played on Friday, Soulfire.
Really?
Yeah, that was fun.
How about that band of little kids, the Millionaire Beach Bums?
Yeah.
Is that
I
the
love
ones
that
that I
name.
heard started a couple years ago and then they came back
Yeah,
and now they're like older and just shred?
Well, they shredded. They were like 10 or something when they first showed
Was
up.
that the 13 last year?
Yeah.
And now they're
yeah.
14, so they had to change their
Yeah,
name.
they're just kids.
Dude, crazy good.
Yeah. No, it was fun. We had a blast.
Everybody loves those kids. They're so cool. They don't jump all over and go crazy. They just sit there and
chill
pound
and
out the
shred.
surf rock.
Yeah, it was
Nice.
fun. It was cool.
Tell me about the club a little bit. Like, how are you like? How many times have you been president? What are the terms? Do they vote you in? Do
They
you like?
do.
How does that work?
You
have to
gotta be
petition?
cool. Yeah, you gotta get voted in. You know, you gotta. They. If me and him go up, I don't know who would win. Because we're fun guys. But
you would, because I don't want it.
No, I told you I surfed since the '80s in that contest, but I really only joined 14 years ago. He joined 20, like the real roster joined, and I got in and started helping out our good friend Gretchen Harris as like co-team captain, and after that I just got in. I went on the board and just trying to push the program, making sure it stayed solid and doing whatever I can because it was a blast. We go have a great time and all these little events we go to, and especially ours, and so I just kept hanging out, and I was on the board, team captain on the board, and then finally I was vice president to Bill Harris for a couple of years, and then he stepped down to do more lawyering, and then so I said, well, I might as well. I've been doing this so far. He wasn't doing anything last year or two anyhow, so
Somebody's got to do it.
Somebody's got to keep this ship right. And
So, do you have a day job? That's not your day job.
no, I build homes for a living.
Okay. Like a
That's
general contractor.
blows
or
my
you're
mind all day long.
slinging nails.
Still on him 57 calls today, and it's just like, no, I build homes for Davidson communities. We take a big old plot of land. Like right now, we're working on Joan Smith Irvine's place in San Juan, and we turn it in. We left her little horse training facility, but we took 10 acres and building $32 $2 million homes and really bitching. And
Nice.
I do that all day.
Nice.
Then I go to the board meetings. Then I go to the contest, and then
Go to the soccer
Then I'm a
games, go
surfer
to
on the
the
side,
events.
So it's fun. Since I've been in, it was Tim Carter, George Eckhoff, and then Billy Harris, and now me, and that's the last 14 years. So it usually runs about 2 to 3 years.
Gotcha.
Is what happens, and or 4. I don't know.
So what's going to be your legacy when this, when your whatever it's called is done?
We should
When
really
you're
talk
10 years
about
up.
this off camera.
Yeah. Who knows? I don't know. But right now I'm just trying to keep it streamlined and pointing in the right direction. But I don't do it all. I got my vice president, Alex Altamirano, and treasurer Diana, and team captain Gretchen Harris, and Guy's like our figurehead. He's the man.
He's the face.
He's the face, and he does his event.
He's got great hair too.
Oh yeah, he loves to fling it. Occasionally though, he'll cut it for the locks of love and give it away to some of the kids that need some.
He told us about that. That's cool.
Yeah, no, he's a good guy, good all around guy, and makes us pitching boards and.
So who's the best surfer in your club?
Me.
It's the one having the most fun.
Oh, bam.
Yeah. Guy told us to say that.
If
he gave me the bumper sticker
He
answer.
actually told us to say Guy, but I changed it.
If there is a catchphrase like you were talking about earlier, that's really it. The best surfer in the water is the one with the biggest smile on his face.
Sure.
Or
absolutely.
I just know our friend here has a bit of a competitive vein, so I was kind of trying to
No, I thought
pull it
about
out
it.
of
It
him a little
flashed in
bit.
my mind, but no, it's Guy. If you want to talk about competitive, Guy's the guy.
Guy's very competitive, right?
He does. This is 16 years now. He's been doing that Pro Open nose ride, and with the Pro Open and then the nose ride, which is 2 different divisions. And we were talking about the different like nose riding only and then high performance longboarding. So we did that on Friday at the same time. 2 hours here, 2 hours there, 2 hours back, 2 hours done. Finals on Saturday, and so we give the pros their due. And there was $10,000 purse, which came out really nice.
Yeah.
For a couple of these guys. One of them went home with $2,500.
Nice.
And so it's and then to break it down, just so you're clear, Saturday and Sunday is the coalition where the clubs come, and you got the little rats all the way to the old folks. It's everybody. So it's kind of a 3 events in one actually. The nose riding, which is timed. And then the longboard ripping, do whatever you can do. The open.
And so what's your role? I saw a guy was actually running the parking lot.
Oh, he runs everything. He'll go over there for a little while, and then he'll run under the band shell and make sure he's making money in his little booth.
He'll flash in and scream at us a little bit.
Go to the beer garden for 3 hours.
He goes away, and we do his bidding.
Yeah. Got to go grab him to give away his money, from the stage. It's everybody pulls their own weight. It's funny because we broke this down. We wouldn't be that whole big thing without a beach contest, a surfing contest. So that's our main focus, and it's gotten a little bigger now that we got these 16 rad bands for 3 days, and the band shell's got 32 vendors, and our beer garden is a real big part of it because it makes us a lot of cash and dough so we can give back to the community.
Yeah.
So there's like 4 big regions.
Yeah.
And we kind of had heads over everybody, and we all kind of just watch each other, and it takes a big team effort. All volunteers.
Big effort.
Nobody gets paid. We just do it to have the best beach party.
I mean, do you take everybody out for a steak after at least, or get a barbecue going?
We have the appreciation party. We do.
All right.
We have the leftover kegs.
I gotta tell you, the luau was phenomenal too.
Yeah. What'd you like about it?
No, I'm talking about the Hungry Hunter, the food that they put together. But I mean, from the Polynesian dancer, the whole thing was cool.
Yeah. No, the Tahitian dancers, they've been doing that since
forever.
I dated one. When that first one in 1986.
That's a whole nother story that we'll talk about.
They've been doing that forever, and it's a big part of why people really love our contest because they'll go on for an hour and a half. And
dude, your wife's probably going to watch this. Stop it.
Oh,
I feel like
bro.
I feel like I could picture Neil trying to actually get up and participate in the Polynesian dance.
Oh, he shakes his butt.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I look good with coconuts too.
Lovely bunch. That's rad. So, do you guys have any other events per se throughout the rest of the year, or
Surf
you
and
already?
turf.
Yeah, surf and turf. we get together. We bring all our friends from the other clubs, or usually the local clubs like Swami's or even Doheny and even some just the clubs, local clubs, and we'll get together at Terramar and do a little impromptu surf right in the middle of everybody, and we'll get 4-man teams. And then we'll surf as best we can, and then we'll go to the local Rancho Carlsbad and go whack a bunch of balls, and there's some stories there. Wind chills and across this freeway. But I know we have a blast, and we have green jackets, so we put on the winning team.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. How many green jackets do you have?
2 in a row.
I figured this guy.
Well, the key
in
is,
a row.
The key is you just get. Well, no, my vice president is a great golfer, and he's a great surfer too. So then we just throw a little ringers in there, and we're good.
Gotcha.
We carry him in the surfing and the golf.
Lock it up.
That's
amazing. So how can people find out about the club? Where are you guys online?
We are. We just, we just rebooted it. We had it, and it was just kind of wavering there, and we decided, you know what, we're going to go big. And we had our good friend Jeff Warner at designgrotto.com put together a really nice website. It's a A-plus website. And
you're on it.
Yeah, you guys are all over. You got your hyperlinks, and they come right here.
Excellent.
And all of our sponsors, and we figured, if we're going to keep getting bigger but keeping it economical, we want to help all our sponsors to get what they need too. And
super important.
Yeah, it is. And so we made it, really easy. And it's the Oceanside Longboard Surfing Club.org. And I even went in, and it was OLSC, and they popped me to it.
Yeah,
too,
well, another cool thing about our new website is the way Jeff set it up. We're like a hub for the whole coalition. We'll have links to every club in the coalition. Mm-hmm. So you can go click on that, and there'll be a list. And if you wonder when Malibu Surfing Association's contest is, click on them, or Swami's, you click on them, and there's a lot of content, a lot of photos.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot more photos in the next couple of weeks, so keep looking it up.
Yeah.
They'll post from this last week's event. It'll keep popping up there.
I was over talking to Jeff today, and he was busy posting photos quick as he could get them up there.
Wow.
There'll be many to come.
And we're super stoked. He was telling us yesterday we've gotten 15,000 hits in the last 30 days, which is pretty good, he said.
Yeah, sure.
So we're stoked on that.
Yeah, we got an online store there. You can buy all the club swag and stuff now.
Sweet.
Is fluorescent green the official club color?
I don't know. When did you get that thing?
I got this from Marmac.
Oh,
leave me alone, man.
I thought that was your jersey from the weekend.
Yeah.
It is. I always get green.
Green with envy.
Pickle.
I just want to say, real quick, the main emphasis for our club is to give back to the citizenship of surfing in our community. And one of the 3 people we give money to is, there's 4 actually. El Camino High School, Oceanside High School. We help them out.
Their surf teams?
Yeah, the surf teams.
Awesome.
We try to make sure that we keep the youngins coming up. And then one of the local ladies has the Scholastic Surf Series, which she's all up and down the coast, Orange County, and she does the junior high and high school contests, like the old CISF days and down here. They don't do that anymore. So she took the burden on and just has all these contests for all the high schools and the junior highs. And so we give her money to make sure she's floating. And then we also give some money to the California Surf Museum because they're right there, right behind the pier, and they're our buddies. A lot of the directors are the old secretaries in our club and stuff. So, that's our main focus. When we're
you're taking care of your future, you're taking care of your heritage.
Absolutely.
You're continuing to invest in creating a thriving surfing community.
Promoting the surfing community. Absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
And we always post that on the front program page. This is what we're doing. We talk. We laugh about go get your $5 beer in the beer garden between heats, whatever. And we tell them, $4.50 is going to go to our charities and stuff.
Yeah.
As well as having a really cool beach party.
Right.
So.
Right.
And the whole thing started out as just a surf contest with a barbecue on the beach.
Yeah, it's true. And a couple ukuleles.
This was before the pier was even built, right?
The Malafua guys?
Malafua security. That was our security.
I used to know George.
You used to know George?
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Greatest guy in the world.
Man.
Absolutely.
Man.
Him and all his clan would be our security all weekend. Classic.
You knew when you saw those big red Malafua jackets what was up. Yeah,
yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, but did anybody cause problems?
No.
Did anybody steal things? No.
Negative.
Yeah, I know. It's and a little bit of history. they started the Oceanside Surf Club in the 50s. Underneath the pier there was a little open area where the lifeguards are now. They enclosed that lately. But before it was an open general area for the city. And so they'd have other meetings down there in the 50s. And like L.J. Richards, Phil Edwards, and then it kind of grew into the 60s. And Donald came around, Donald Takayama, and you know, it kind of grew. And then, you know, it kind of fell apart during, like he was talking about earlier, the shortboard revolution. You know, it kind of changed the whole culture. And, you know, some people still kept, you know, longboarding, but a lot of
it's all Mark Richards' fault.
Yeah, and Simon Anderson, right? And but you know, and then so back in '84, you know, they said, let's start this thing again. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
And we've been going to the Oceanside Longboard Surfing Club ever since, second generation. You know.
Anybody got it tattooed on them?
No.
Nobody yet? Because I think
I haven't seen any.
No ink,
Somebody
bro.
might have.
No ink.
I don't got any ink either.
But when you do,
that'll be Phil.
Right on the butt cheek.
Doing this little cutback.
We'll see if we can get Bing a tramp stamp.
Oh my gosh, that's great. Anybody ever shot the pier in it? I got to believe that's happened. Do you shoot that pier?
It happened this weekend, but you know what? That's
Andy Nieblis.
That's like a $250 fine if you get caught.
No, we wash our hands and say, hey, look, guys, don't do it, because they don't want them to. There's a lot of fishermen. You know, and
yeah, a lot of hooks and
I remember
a lot of trouble.
Rick Cole in his heat when it was big 5 years ago. He came in with a big old hook through his thumb, and he's like, he got underneath the pier. It's classic.
Sheesh.
Yeah, we don't recommend they shoot the pier. You know, I think Huntington it's open. They'll let them do that, but Oceanside doesn't dig it. You know, so
dangerous, man.
And we try to stick with the rules. City Oceanside's been so good to us.
Absolutely. Yep.
I mean, without Terry and a bunch of the people up there, we couldn't do what we do.
Bill Curtis,
over here. Bill
lifeguard
Curtis,
captain.
I mean,
they hook us up.
They're pretty much a essential part of what we do, and you know, they're our partners, man. We're promoting Oceanside too.
They give us the keys to the parking lot and the bench like they did Friday. You know, they said just don't wreck it. You know, that's what they do.
It's like, can I use the car tonight, Dad?
Well,
there you go.
We're the second oldest running event at the pier, other than the 100-year-old polar bear swim that they do on New Year's Day. So,
do you do that too?
No.
No. You know, even I was just gonna say the Oceanside Police Department, the little substation they got there. All those guys were super cool and coming and checking it out. And they all did a great job down there. I don't know, just for myself, I didn't see like any problems at all.
No, and we police ourselves.
Yeah.
Every 30 feet, there's a coalition surfer or one of us, you know, from the club, and you know, we just kind of watch to make sure everything's kind of cool and
undercover.
We watch each other's backs, you know.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Hey, you guys do a great job. And
we watch out for all the little kids, make sure we don't have any situations going on, you know.
Yep. Don't lose your kids.
I can't tell you how many times we've had crying kids up at the booth, and we've shouted out on the mics to find their parents, and with the help of the lifeguards, it always works out.
Totally. Yeah.
Well, man, you guys do a great job, and super stoked to be a part of it, that it came together with us and Guy and yourselves and everybody else, and we had a pleasure being out there, and hopefully we can continue it into the future.
I'll tell you, it's really a pleasure to have quality people like you guys and Tri-City and Bud Light stepping up and giving us the ability to make this better, more fun for everybody, and, you know, put on the whole beach festival portion of our little program. Man. And we work on it all year, and
endlessly.
Labor of love.
It is. Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming and chatting with us, guys.
No, we appreciate it.
Big thank you guys for coming out, and all of our other great guests, and hey, all of you for listening to us yap about all this kind of awesome stuff.
We like the yap.
Yeah, so, hey, check us out here every Tuesday, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. You can go online for more information. You go to Toyota Escondido or theactionsportshow.com. Follow the social media, download the podcast, and, hey, this weekend, UFC 202, Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz. Who do you got?
Diaz.
Diaz again?
McGregor's going to crown that guy.
I think it's going to be McGregor, you bastard.
McGregor, he's due.
You bastard.
We'll see.
Hey, folks, hope you have a great week. Remember, don't text and drive. We'll see you here right next time on the Action Sports Show.
Sup?